There they go.
There we go. And Women's Division 4 is underway.
And 3 very neat starts from the first 3 boats.
Yep, Queen with a pretty solid start. I think there's a couple of rows slightly running out of time, but it's still a very fast and powerful start. It looked like Corpus maybe had a slightly slow first few strokes. Corpus going out into the middle of the river, they're making a bit of a rookie mistake by chasing Queens and going directly after them rather than sticking to their line. So that's interesting. And Merton also out into the middle of the river, which is not helpful and not good in terms of your overall time.
St Anthony's in the perfect place right near the bank.
Absolutely. Queen's cutting that very fine. I hope they don't clip the bank. I think they're okay. So, yes, but you know, the best coxes will kind of measure it to centimetres into perfection, which is great. So we see now on the screen we've got Somerville and Regent's Park behind them. Yep. I think actually if we zoom out, we can probably see several crews in one go. So we've got top of the division there from camera 2. That's Merton, who have taken a very wide line. I think Merton will have bumped out. Yeah, yes. They wouldn't be taking that one. Like they've winded down. So yeah, that's Merton having bumped Exeter. So that's the first bump of this division. That means Anthony's will be now trying to hunt down Exeter. It can be done. There's only 3.5 lengths. We know Exeter went down 2 yesterday. So Anthony's still have a prize in this division to hunt down and bump.
But Somerville have disappeared.
Oh, Somerville have wound down and kind of stopped rowing. They're now heading off again at full pace. So I think they've probably been bumped. They've had a bit of a mare there. So we'll see whether... Oh, no, Regent's Park still are racing. So Regent's Park... Oh, then there they go. This is the 3-boat sandwich I was predicting here in terms of Somerville, Regents and New College. Regents running to the other side of the river to avoid New College. New College, oh, there we go. And New College have hunted down and bumped Regents Park. So that's New College 2 on Regents Park. Regents Park very much in it. They can still bump Somerville and end the day level. We've got now at the top of this division, we've got Queens and Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi are reeling Queens in by a fairly significant pace.
Queens
it's down to about maybe.
They must have bumped out.
Oh no, I think the video's slowing down a little bit. So Queens can't bump out because they're ahead of the division. They've got no choice but to race this, but it looks to be down to maybe about a third of a length between Corpus and Queens. Maybe if we cut to camera, 4 and pan it all the way left, we'll be able to see Queens and Corpus as they attempt the crossover, and hopefully we'll get better frame rate from that.
And the Cox was looking round just as the camera froze. That's going to be a bump.
That's very close. Not guaranteed, but that's getting very close. Very close. Yeah, I think you're probably right, but we've seen weirder things happen. Let's cut to camera 4 and let's see whether we can try and catch this bump. If we go all the way to the left of camera 4, we can see what
suddenly
happens
look like they're rowing in treacle, don't they? Whereas Corpus Christi have really got a bit of speed on.
Yeah, so Queens have no choice but to row on. So there we go. There's definitely some blade collision there. So Corpus, and the bow lady of Corpus has crabbed, but Corpus clear out the way. So Corpus Christi have bumped Queen's College, meaning Corpus Christi get promoted up to Women's Division 3. So well done to Corpus, commiserations to Queens.
And they still have to complete the course.
Absolutely, yes. And they've got Exeter behind them, who are probably, I think, could be in danger of being bumped again. So Exeter probably not much of a threat to Queens, but as long as Queens don't crab, they're probably fine.
What have we got here? That's Regent's Park chasing up Somerville.
Yes, it is. So Regents have dropped back a bit from Somerville after that 3-boat sandwich in the gut. I mean, getting bumped is always demoralising, demotivating, so you will lose a bit of speed and a bit of pace, but actually they are slowly closing back in on Somerville, so I think that's going to be really interesting to see, as we see them kind of at the crossover now, where we go from the city side over to the county side. There is a best line to steer. Very few coxes get it perfect, but as long as you get it good enough, you will do your crew good.
That's still Queens, isn't it? Yes. So Queens have been caught again.
Yeah. So Queen's got bumped by Corpus Christi. They will have Exeter behind them. So I think if we kind of keep the camera as it is, maybe zoom out a bit, we can see all the crews who are aiming to try and get a bump in this closing stage of the race.
Yes, that's Queens. They're looking like they're rowing strongly, but it was Exeter behind with the red blades who seems to have closed the gap quite a lot. But now the parallax has gone, it's a good gap. Unless they have a disaster, Queens should be okay with that.
Yeah, and if you remember, Exeter start 2 boats behind, so that's about
Yes.
2 boat lengths plus a boat length plus two lots of 1.5 lengths. They start 4 lengths, so they've closed it down to about 1.5 lengths. So that's good progress by Exeter, but I don't think they've got enough river. I think Exeter are going to run out of river before they can try and hunt down Queens. That'll be their target for tomorrow.
Yes, and that's St Anthony basically still at the same gap behind them.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, St Anthony's also making a fairly good impression on Exeter there. This is, as ends of divisions go, this is pretty close actually. So we've seen Merton stop rowing because they bumped Exeter. We've seen Corpus Christi stop rowing because they bumped Queens. And in this race, your race is over either when you cross the finish line or you bump another crew. So the best crews can often do 9 months of training and only have to row about 90 strokes over 4 days. I mean, all that training just for 90 strokes, that's a little bit obscene, but if you're in that position, it's a great position to be in.
Can I just say, the row, that sounds perfect.
Yeah, Queen's running to the other side of the river. I don't think they needed to do this, but maybe it's just a safety manoeuvre. So they are making sure that even if Exeter catch up to them, Exeter can't take a lateral swipe and hit them over the finish line. So Queen's running away. That says they're scared of Exeter. So that's going to play into the psyche of tomorrow and Saturday's race. Exeter have wound down, so they got bumped.
And they wound down together, didn't they?
Yep, correct. And we've got St Anthony's crossing the finish line. So if you can maybe zoom out, let's see what happened to Somerville, Regent's Park, Oriel 2 and Wolfson 3, because we've probably still got a couple of bumps we haven't noticed in this division. So that is Somerville, and we've got Regent's Park behind them. That gap's opened up a bit, hasn't it, Matthew?
I think so. That looks like 2 or 3 lengths now, and it looks relatively comfortable, I would suggest. I don't think Regent's Park are going to actually catch up with Somerville there.
No, I think
Somerville
Regent's
look a little
Park,
ragged. I mean, they could still have a disaster.
Yeah, I think Regent's Park knew they had a very fast New College behind them.
Regent's Park have just hit the moored boat.
Oh dear, commentator's curse there. Well done. So Regent's Park will now have Oriel behind them, but they're probably too far away to cause any hassle.
That's
just getting
lengths.
Yeah, and it looks like Wolfson 3 are no longer in the race. So I think Wolfson 3 bumped Oriel 2, so Oriel 3 get relegated from Women's Division 4. Just going back to that Regents crew, Regents I think knew they had a very fast New College behind them, so their choice was basically bump fast or be bumped. They went really hard and they got to within maybe about a quarter, half a length of Somerville 2, but New College 2 were just too fast for them. They got the bump. New College got the bump on Regent's Park, and then Regents, I think, ran out of steam and ran out of stamina because it just put so much into the beginning. So I think New College will be licking their lips and looking at a very easy bump on Somerville 2 tomorrow. I think that's in the bag for them. That's going to be one of my predictions of tomorrow's racing.